Hi, Jamie again with my pets. Today we're going to paint the cutest little polar bear. As you can see, I have pre-drawn him on my canvas. Oh, actually hold that there for a second if you need to pause it and try to draw something. Okay, so for our painting today, we have 3 paintbrushes, a bigger, a medium with an angle, and a pointier one. A cup of water for rinsing, paper towel for drying our brushes or dabbing our head, whatever comes first, and 4 colors on our palette: a dark blue, a lighter blue, black and white. And my chickens are waiting for snacks already. They're like, we saw you bring the box of goldfish over here, Mom. So let's. There you go. Let's see who else comes running. Oh, Marigold's coming. We have some stray chickens that got out trying to get in. Yeah, well, y'all should have been inside. Fly over like you did to get out here. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. You're missing out because everybody inside the fence gets the snacks. Everybody inside the fence gets the snacks. Here, Marigold. There you go. You having some? Yeah. Actually, not a sponsor, so we're going to put that like that. All right. Here we go. Here's our painting. Here's our palette. We're going to start with our big brush. I'm not kidding. You got to be inside to get the treats. Mommy is not giving you any out here. It's not going to happen. All right. We're going to start with our sky color, which is like the darker of the 2 blues. And we are going to fill in all around this top area of our polar bear. There is a line that's going to be our like land that he's sitting on. And this is all going to be sky above him. So if you can try to avoid painting inside the bear, if you can. If you go into it a little tiny bit, it's not the end of the world. But the more you can avoid it, the better it's going to be when we're trying to paint the white into the polar bear. White doesn't tend to like to color or cover color very much. Oh, and now we're peeing. Sorry, I'm going to hold that right there for a second, because she needed a little privacy for a second. All right, so as you can see, all of the goats have now arrived because they heard there was goldfish being spread out around here. I have 3 goats for anybody who hasn't been here before. The little gray one that was in the screen at first, her name is Marigold. This one's Buttercup. She's my multicolored one. And this is our newest one. Her name is Carrot Cake. We call her Cece. She's still a bottle baby. She's really cute. She just ate, so she may not be too into hanging out with us. This is actually my second time today painting this painting for a video. The first time, my microphone didn't work. So I had zero sound, including my neighbor mowing his lawn in the middle of me painting, which he apologized for after. But he's like, I didn't realize, I'm sorry. And now it's starting to sprinkle out. They told me the rain was done. They lied. Go figure. Let's see how we do in the rain. I may need to pause and come back. We'll see how hard it's going to rain. Sky's a little dark. Is it just where I live, or does everybody have, like, their meteorologist people get it wrong? They're like, it's all done raining in your area. Not. Fibbers. All right, since my painting is now getting rained on, it's going to make little white drops, which is fine because we're going to add stars to it anyway. And it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's whoosh it. Cardio it for a minute. Hi, girls. Yeah. You're not going to come into camera range, I see. So we have a whole bunch of chickens. And the goats ran away because it started to rain. Because goats hate getting rained on. Which I didn't realize until after I bought them a pool, like a little kiddie pool. I was like, oh, they'll have fun cooling off in there. Oh, no. Goats do not like to be wet. So that did not work out in my favor. All right. All right. Let's see if we can salvage this here. Maybe. What are you doing? I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. You're so beautiful. Yeah, you're so beautiful. All right, so we have some blue in our sky. That is pretty fine. I mean, it's not great because it's getting dripped on. Today is just not my day for painting, apparently. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. All right, so to the blue sky, we are gonna add black right onto our same brush that we already had the blue on. We don't need to rinse it. We're going over the blue color. We're gonna add some little cloudy-ish kind of areas. Like just weird, darker spots in the sky. We're going to kind of just tap them in there and make darker, cloudy spots. Hi, babies. What are you doing? Saying hi to your mom? Hi, Mom. Yeah, hi, Mom. What you doing? Hi. You're so pretty. Such a pretty girl. We're going to add some stars to this in a second, or snow falling, or whatever you think it might be. It just zhuzhes up the sky a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Add just a weird couple random. Not my day. It's not my day. Like, everything is fine. Everything is fine. All right. So the kind of black, dark cloud stuff going on. Okay. All right. We're going to rinse our brush and give this a little wave. Hello, beautiful girls. All right. So we want all the color out of the brush because we're going to go into the white next. Plain brush. White paint. We're going to add some water and thin down a little bit of our white paint. This is where we're going to make Snowflakes slash stars by flicking paint. This is how I flick paint. Everybody has their own like kind of thing on how to do it. But essentially, we're just looking for little, not drippy. Had a couple of decent drips right there. Where, you know, you want variated sizes. There we go. Whoa, but not that big. Whoa, but not that big. All right, we can fix it. First, we're gonna wash our finger. Then we're gonna wipe paint. I'm actually gonna switch to the smaller brush and I'm just gonna fix where I just had an oopsie. You can't tell. You can't tell. You can't even tell. All right, so let's. Yeah. And our stars or snowflakes look pretty good. Yeah. We could totally add a few more in a minute. I just had a big bleh with paint. And now I just bonked the friggin' box. Not my day. You ever have one of those days? I'm having a little bit of one of those days. Could be worse. Think positive. Could be worse. Could be a lot worse. I'm alive and I'm painting. Oh, everything is good. Everything is good. All right. We're going to try again. I'm going to go back into the white. A little bit of water in my white. Because there's a spot we had to fix and some spots that I didn't really get. All right. This is a better consistency. See, the key to this is not too watery, but not too dry. Freaking kidding me right now? Guess what happened again? Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Somebody really does not want me to paint this painting today. Breathe through it. Count to 10. Okay. Do 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 do. Kind of like it never happened. Kind of. All right. I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead. And we're going to throw snacks because I'm just gonna let that sit there and dry for a minute while I take a breath and watch my pets. And watch my pets. Okay. Here you go, girls. Yeah. So something exciting that happened to me today while I'm talking about good things in my life. These little white chickens, they're called leghorns. They are just 5 months old. Just. As I checked back in my thing today. Because one of them laid their very first egg today. I know. I'm very excited about that. You may not be, but I am. Because they lay white eggs, and I've never had a chicken that lays white eggs. So when I opened up the little, hatch to pick up my eggs today, there was the tiniest little white egg. And I mean, I get honking eggs from all of my other girls, like big brown, like I feel bad for them eggs. And this one was like the tiniest little white egg. I was so in love. My husband knew that I was going to be excited. He actually found it first and left it for me to find, which was very sweet of him because he knew how excited I would be to find it. All right. So that was a positive in my day. That's a positive in my day. I feel like they're a little too young for that, but apparently 5 months is like right around, I guess, between 5 and 6 months. And they've been eating like the big chick food, for a little while now. Because I put, everybody's food all in the same area or whatever. They just get to decide which one they want to eat. So I can't wait. This one right here, this one that's running, she's got a goldfish in her mouth. She has a sister coming. They're lavender buff Orpingtons. And according to the person who sold them to me, they're going to lay like really cool colored, like Easter eggy colors, either pinks or purples or something like the shell. So I'm a little excited about that. Can't wait for them to start laying. I think I got excited about a white one. Wait till we have a pretty colored one. Yeah. I have one chicken that lays me like a light teal color. And it's pretty small. And I think it's the black chick, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't really pay that much attention to who lays what. All right. So, with our brush that had our white on it that we were flicking the paint with. There we go. Okay. There's our snowflakes / stars, whatever you want them to be. All right. We still have white in our brush. I'm going to wash the white off my fingers so I don't mess up my painting. We are going to paint this bottom part white. And this is going to be just like a base because we're going to add that light blue. And I just want something to work that light blue into to kind of, like I want darker areas and lighter areas. And we're going to kind of go back and forth with the white and the blue until we get what we like. And the white doesn't matter if you get it into the polar bear. We're going to paint him white in a minute anyway. But I needed a white base for that part. Same brush, light blue with our white. We're going to start under our polar bear. And then we're going to bring color out. And we're going to add some more. There we go. Now we're going to add just white to the same brush. We did not rinse the brush. I did not rinse the brush. And we're going to make sure that the color is right up to our sky. And bring it out away from our polar bear. And if you want like a little hill here, you can kind of shape it so that it's a hill. This is meant to look like ice, like that he's sitting on a block of ice or an iceberg or whatever. And I didn't actually paint my upper edges, but it's fine. I know. I hear everybody saying it. You forgot to paint your edges. It's fine. I can go back and do it. Sorry, I had to find my line. There it is. Oh, I did paint my edges. What am I talking about? I painted them. I must have been talking. Forgot what I did. Hello, chicken. Hello, chicken. All right, so we'll get that edge. So the reason that I worry about the edges, that I tell everybody to worry about the edges, is if you're going to hang it up, you want all your edges, sides, to be, have a color to them so that they kind of blend with your painting from, all the different angles or whatever. So it kind of matters if you're planning on hanging it. All right. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of water to my brush. I want this part to really be able to move around good. I'm just going to go back into that light blue color, adding some more of that light blue. I still haven't rinsed the brush. And we're just going to do like a shadowy color under the polar bear and fade it away. Do a little bit more, a little farther down. And you can keep adding that blue until you get like the darkness that you think he should have underneath him. Oh. See what I'm saying about my day? I went over into the paint that was starting to dry, and then my paint didn't want me to touch it, and I touched it anyway. But we're good. It's fine. He's got a little shadow under his butt now. A little shadowy butt. And you can add more white if you feel like, maybe it's snowing in yours. And it snowed is more on the ice and it's a little lighter or whiter in spots. You can totally do that. Wait for it to dry though, or you're just going to keep blending in everything. I have 2 chickens out somewhere. They went that way, but I do not see them right now. Oh yes, I do. Okay, they're safe. And I'm sorry if you hear that in the background. There's somebody revving their engine across the street, which is awesome. I mean, today is just one of those days. All right, so now we're going to fill in our polar bear. I should still be able to see. I guess I should have used the smaller brush. We're going to actually switch to the smaller brush in a second. The lines through the white paint, it's just a pencil line, but we should still be able to see it. I'm going to switch to the other, that like angly brush that I had. Make sure we get all the color out. Had some blue in there. We're going to make sure that's all out. All right, this one's just going to make it a little easier for me to kind of stay inside the lines. And if you don't stay inside the lines and you have a little oopsie, wait for it to dry. And then go back and fix it with whichever color. If it's the sky color, you can fix it with the blue. If it's the ground color, you can blend in some more of that light blue and white color mixture that's on your palette right there. Really not the end of the world, I promise. The key is waiting for things to dry when you have an oopsie. Because as you can see, when I had my oopsies, I did not wait for it to dry because I'm impatient today. Not really that impatient, but I just don't want to take up forever on the video here waiting for stuff to dry. All right. We have a polar bear painted white. And you can still see his little lines faintly, which is good. We're going to switch to the smaller, pointier brush. Where's your sister? Did you lose her? No, I don't see her. Oh, there she is. Hi. Okay. So, my day's not getting any better. I had to pause the video, and now I'm back. But we're good. All right. So let's see if we can recap. We have the sky. We have the ice that he's sitting on. And we have painted our cutie patootie little guy white. Or girl. I think this one's a boy though. Hello, ladies. I know. Yeah, mommy is like up, down, back, forth, whatever. Okay. And apparently I have spilled my water in the process. So we have a paint marker that has a chubbier end and then a skinnier end that we're going to use in a minute. But until then, we're going to use the pointier brush and try to get back on track. Okay. We're going to get it damp. We're going to go straight into the black. And then we're just going to do some of these bigger parts of the polar bear. So in his little ear, we're going to do the insides. And then we'll do this inside. Yeah. Then we're going to do his nose. Fill in his whole nose part with the black. All right. And then we're going to do the pads of his feet because those are pretty decently sized as well. Color that in here. Aww, he's so adorable. He is so adorable. All right. And as you can see, I do not use an easel. I find for myself that it's easier for me to move the canvas the way I need it to move in order to paint what I want to get done. All right, so the rest of it is kind of smaller, so we're just going to switch to the acrylic marker. Now, if you don't have a paint marker, you can totally do all the lines that I'm about to do with a small brush and just black paint. Actually, I just totally lied to you. We're going to do gray first. This is my day. I'm telling you. Have you ever just had one of those, like, okay, it's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. We're going to make a nice light gray. And we're going to use that first. And then, all right. We're going to do some shadows before we do the black lines. So we're going to give him, that's way too dark. A little bit of black goes a very long way. We're going to touch his nose and smudge it. That's what we're going to do. Oh my Lord, today with this. All right. So we're just going to do some quick, like, shadowy, where we're going to do the black. And where his ears are going to be. And we're going to do around his little feet. And around this little foot. He really is the cutest little polar bear. Just doesn't seem to be my day for getting him painted. That's all. So those are where his two front legs are going to go. And then these are the tops of his front feet. All right. So head, chin, big foot, front legs. He's popped a little squat right there on the ice in a hill. Yeah, so cute. All right, now since I made an oopsie, I'm going to fix it while we're right here. I'm going to touch up the black part of his nose and then rinse black out and then go into just the white and touch just the spot where gone. Poof! Just like that. Poof. Absolutely gone. All right. He's getting there. He's getting there today. It's just, wow! Okay. The fine end of my marker, this one has two ends. We're going to use the fine end. So the thing with these, they don't really like to draw on wet paint. So for some of this, we might have a little bit of an issue, in which case I'll just switch back to the actual paintbrush. So let's start with, never mind. This is how my day is going. My day is so fabulous today. We're going to go to bed and start again tomorrow. That's what we're going to do. All right, we're going to switch to the chunky end because the chunky end is okay with doing the cutest little toe beans on our polar bear. Little toe beans. All right. All right. More toe beans. They're so stinking cute. All right, now we're going to draw eyeballs. And my paint's still wet apparently, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. That's where his mouth is going to go. Aww. Look at him starting to come together. And since my paint is still wet, we're going to have to switch to the little brush that I totally just dripped on my painting. It's fine. Everything is fine. Okay. It's going to be one of those videos, man. People are going to watch it just to see me have the meltdown. I'm not going to have a meltdown, I promise. It's going to be all right. All right. With our small brush, with our handle, we're going to go into the white paint. I'm going to do something a little special for this cutie patootie. We're going to make like constellation type stars in the sky. And I want them to look like hearts. And I got to stop sticking my finger in the paint. So about every, quarter inch, half inch, we're going to do a little dot with the handle end. And we're going to do it in the shape of a heart. Because it's cute and I want to. All right. Boom, 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 boom. I know, it's so cute. We're actually going to do a second one because I think that that's really cute. Really cute. All right, so up here, we're going to do one that's kind of like tipped maybe a little bit. So we're going to start doing it this way. Boink, boink, boink. Hi, girls. Da-da-da. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe it got a little wonky on the side there, but you can get the gist of it. Now he has little heart constellations. Hi, chickens. Hi, chickens. All right, same brush. I rinsed off the end. Because that would be my day. I'm actually going to rinse my finger off too, so that I don't have any weird smudgy that I'm going to, make a mess with here. And where we had those gray shadowy lines, we're going to do like a little bit of a skinnier line so you can just see the gray around it. You'll see in a second. I know. Hi, chicken. Hello. It's so beautiful. Hi, are you waiting for a snack? Mommy did a whole big bunch of snacks. Where were you? I feel like you got snacks and you're just asking for more. Is that the plan? All right, this is where we're at so far. He's so stinking cute. Look at his little face. All right. And then the same on this side. And then we're just going to bring in under his chin, under his chin, under his chin. I think he's super cute. All right, let's fix some of his little toe beans that got a little gray, actually. Toe beans is just such a fun thing to say. I love saying toe beans. It's literally just the little toe pads of the critter's feet, but toe beans sounds so cute. All right, so you can still see like the gray where it's like a little shadowy around some of the spots. Okay. And I'm going to do his mouth again too, because that did not come out so great. Now we just have a highlight in his eyes and his nose that we're going to do, and then we're going to call this one done. All right. For his eyes, I'm going to dip it in the end Just go boop and boop. Okay. Wipe that part off. Give it a rinse because we have black in there. Go into the white. And we're just going to give him a little highlight on his nose. Just a little highlight on his nose. All right. I think we're done. I think we're going to call it done because, yeah. Okay. Let me sign this bad boy. Initials in the corner. Okay. I know. I'm trying really hard to have a good day. So here's my polar bear. He's very cute. Thank you for hanging out with me and, dealing with all my craziness. And thanks for hanging out with my pets. And I will see you again next time. Hopefully it'll be a better day. Thank you. Bye-bye.